got inspired today by my Mooney and my Mandy. So fucking yeah, the cost of numbness, right? The patriarchal systems and numbness. I gotta be real fucking clean when I say this, because people keep seeming to twist it up. Patriarchy does not survive on love. No. Patriarchy does not survive on empathy. It survives on numbness. Literally on men and women being numb to other people's pain, right? So you don't uphold violent systems by feeling too much. You uphold them by learning when not to feel at all. If you just ignore it, the boys club stands, and men are taught this very early on. Just ignore it. If it doesn't affect you and yours, it's not a fucking problem. Not because these are evil men or bad men. No. Because they are born broken by broken men and women who were silenced and couldn't speak, but because the system requires them to shut parts of themselves down to keep the system running. Okay, so psychology would call this emotional suppression, right? The goddess, myself, calls it soul amputation, right? Because here's the truth no one likes to say. You can't benefit from a system that harms others without dulling your empathy towards those others that it harms. Let me say that again for the other ones in the back. You cannot benefit from a system that harms others without dulling your empathy toward those it harms. You can't. The system would fall apart if empathy were the main factor. You cannot fully feel a woman's fear, exhaustion, grief, and rage and still excuse the system that causes it. Right? The women's rage is from the patriarchal system, so something has to go here. Something has to give. And what do they get rid of? Their empathy. They choose to shut it down and ignore it. From boyhood, men are trained, don't cry, don't soften, don't listen too long, don't feel guilty, don't question power. You must become power, right? This isn't strength, it's fucking conditioning. They've conditioned the men to be this way. Psychologically, empathy threatens hierarchy. Empathy threatens hierarchy, right? Empathy gets rid of the us versus them mentality. Empathy destabilizes the entitlement, right? A man who fully feels what women endure would not call inequality natural. He would not call abuse miscommunication. He would not call rage fucking hysteria, right? Oh my God. So the system says, detach, rationalize, distance, silence the women. The system whispers, detach, rationalize, distance, silence the women. And most men comply. Not consciously, but conveniently, because it's easier to do, right? And here's where it gets real fucking twisted, real fucking icky caca. The loudest sound in a room is not a woman telling the truth. It's a man whining when he's held accountable. Women have been telling the truth all the time, but men, boy, do they whine when they gotta fucking look in the mirror. Because accountability requires empathy. Accountability requires empathy, and empathy is the very muscle patriarchy told him to atrophy. Soul amputation, guys. So when a woman speaks clearly, not screaming, not begging, not attacking, just naming reality, when she speaks the truth, her truth, the man will feel exposed. The man will feel exposed. And instead of listening, he shuts her up. He deflects. He shuts her up. He doesn't want to listen. Not all men. I'm not saying this about all men, okay? Not all men. People say, I hate men. I don't hate men. People ask me, why am I so angry? Don't I have a right to be? This isn't a dialogue. That is defense against feeling. Why are you so angry? You're too emotional. You hate men. You're exaggerating. Not all men. That's not a dialogue with me. That's you defending what? Let me teach this from my goddess perspective, right? From the GODDESS, yes, the goddess of the mic and the Midwest best, me. The ancient masculine was never numb. He was a protector through presence, not dominance. Men back in Greek mythology did not dominate their women. The women, you see what I'm saying? He felt the village. He listened to the mothers. He understood that power without empathy is rotten, right? Patriarchy severed him from that. Patriarchy took the sacred masculine man and made him think he could take whatever he wanted. It replaced initiation with humiliation, wisdom with control, and strength with fucking suppression. And then they went and blamed the women for the fallout, right? They blamed it on Eve. Eve bit the apple. Bitch, Lilith was fucking Adam's equal before Adam said... And then they put Adam to sleep, and then they took Eve out of the rib. Man, fuck that shit. Here's the psychological truth, right? When men are asked to face harm they benefit from, their nervous system spikes. When men have to admit the patriarchal system that they uphold because it serves them, their shame rises. Cognitive dissonance kicks in, baby. That cognitive dissonance hit hard. So instead of processing it like an adult, many men regress. They try to silence the woman, just like dad told mom to shut up. Shut up, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to listen to your jabber. They minimize, they mock you. They play the victim, right? Like, I'm a good man. I'm not doing this and that. Okay, well, yeah, but are you listening to what I'm saying? No, because they shut you down. That whining you hear from men who don't want to listen, that's not oppression. That's unprocessed guilt screaming for relief. They haven't woken up yet. They haven't processed the fact that the patriarchal system hurts them too. They haven't deconstructed. So let's be real crystal clear. Women's voices are not loud because they want power over men. I don't want power over my man. I love my man. I want him to hear me, to listen to me, to know what the system does to me. They are loud. Women's voices are loud because we've been unheard and unlistened to for fucking centuries. Volume rises when listening fails. Always. Men are not being attacked by women. Women are demanding accountability. Men are not being attacked when women demand accountability. Men are not being attacked when women demand equality. They're being invited back to sit with us in humanity. But that invitation requires something patriarchy told them to fear: empathy and feeling. Feeling the grief, feeling the cost, feeling that the truth that they silence does not protect the women. And yeah, that fucking hurts. Growth always fucking hurts. That's the point. They call it growth, growing pains, because it hurts. So when men say, I'm tired of hearing about it, what he really means is, I don't want to feel what this asks me to feel. I don't want to hear you because I don't want to feel what you feel. They want to stay safe in their little box. And my reply as the goddess, then step the fuck aside, men, and get out of our way, because the mothers, the matriarchs coming. The world does not pause its healing to protect the boys' comfort. The boys' club, the good old boys' club, the patriarchy raping machine, it's coming down. This is not about hating men. This is about naming a system that demands emotional shutdown of our men to survive. And any man who wants to remain numb, you've already chosen your fucking side, bitch. Now, to the other men in the room, the ones that are willing to feel, the ones that are going to listen without centering themselves, to sit with discomfort without turning it into a goddamn debate with me, that man is not threatened by a woman's voice. He's going to listen to it. He's going to get it. He recognizes the women as the truth teller. He recognizes the woman as not the enemy. Because who is it you cry out for in the middle of the night when you feel alone? Your mother, not your dad. He's a second fucking choice. You always call for mom. Who do you want when you're fucking in pain? You want your mommy. You want your mommy. So no, the problem is not women being too fucking loud. The problem is men being trained to go deaf to anything that challenges their fucking advantage. And the only thing louder than a woman speaking truth is a man unraveling when his numbness no longer fucking works.